want to turn back to each of our speakers right now. I know we've covered a lot of material, and in just a minute or so, if there's any final nugget, a closing remark, something you'd like to leave our attendees with that really encapsulates that summary of your presentation, I want to do that now. And Richard, since you started us today, I'm going to begin with you.
Well, thanks, Elizabeth. Yeah, just of course, the sales tax landscape has just totally changed since the Wayfair decision. In just less than 2 years, almost all the states have enacted both economic nexus as well as marketplace facilitator collection laws. So, if you're out there doing business on the internet, selling into multiple states, the reality is you're going to have to become familiar with all those states' sales tax laws if you're doing any volume to any extent. And so I just would encourage folks to try to keep up with it.
Wonderful. Thank you again, Mr. Richard Cram. I want to move on now. Stephen?
Okay, to leverage off of Richard's comments, as you become familiar with those tax laws, and hopefully you already are familiar, you're going to have a good chance you'll see that you have a delinquency in a state or two, if not more. And consider the voluntary disclosure agreement as you step towards compliance. You may not have a choice but to file for a voluntary disclosure agreement, because the process of complying will expose you to the prior period liability, and this is your opportunity to pay substantially less tax on your own terms for a limited period of time to facilitate that future compliance, and while also avoiding penalty.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Steven Dimengo, for being with us as well. And finally, any closing remarks, key takeaways from you, Michael?
Yeah, just building off of Richard and Steven's good comments, I think in addition to trying to keep up, as Richard put it, with the new landscape, I would encourage taxpayers and practitioners to think ahead to what's next, and try to give a brief overview today of what I view as one emerging issue, which is the taxation of digital projects and services, but also maybe what's left of PL 86272 in the income tax space. What does this new economic nexus regime mean for that statute, and how will taxing authorities view PL 86272 in light of the Supreme Court's decision in Wayfair?